Well, I think I am live. Let's see. Should be live. I don't know. Well, hello, YouTube. This is kind of strange. There we go. Okay, we're live. All's good to go. Well, welcome to developing color film at home. Here we go. Today we got 2 rolls of Fujifilm, Fuji 400. That's a C41 color negative film, and I shot one at a rodeo. And what did I do with the other one? I shot that in the pool with my underwater camera. So those will be real fun pics to see. I'm super excited. So thank you for joining us, YouTube. Please let me know if you're here in the chat so I don't feel like an insane man talking to nobody. Say hi, Stuart.
Hi, Stuart.
Stuart's here too. He's hiding over there.
I'm just trying to find snacks.
Snacks are good, especially when you're live streaming. So the first step in any developing process for me is getting into this can here. So you put when you get this thing, it's got a little bit of film sticking out of it, and then you put it in your camera. You spool that onto a thing. You crank it through. You take all the pictures, and then when it's time to take it out, you got to put it back into this thing because this keeps light out. And light is what makes the pictures, but light is also what can destroy your pictures if you let it hit your film. So what you got to do is get it back out of this little thingy. And what a lot of people do is they'll take like a can opener or something and they'll pry it open, but then you can't use this again. And I like to reuse these after I'm done shooting them. So what I use is something like this. Check out my short on it. It's Developing Film at Home, Part 1, Film Leader Retrieval. And this is a Film Leader Retriever, the Matin branded Film Leader Retriever. And it's got these 2 little tongues. It's got this first little tongue that sticks out, then the second tongue. And you got to stick it in to this thing right here, this little fuzzy bit. Here, let me zoom in. Okay, so there's this little fuzzy bit right here. So it's like the black strip right next to the green and the barcode and all that. And that lets the film come out and go into your camera, but it keeps light from getting in and ruining all the film. So what you can do is you can stick these little things that are, guess what? They're about as thin as film. They can go right in there. So what you do is this. You see that little tip? Okay. You grab these thingies. You stick them in there. It's in. Look, there's no tricks here. There's no tricks. It's in there. Okay. And then you take this first knob. Sorry, it's hard to do this while looking at myself. I hate looking at myself. I'm so ugly. Okay, then you take this first knob and you push it up. And there's a lot of resistance. So when that happens, here, let me zoom you back out so you don't have to look at my booger spit. When there's resistance when you're pushing this thing, what I like to do is I turn this little knob. Okay, you're coming back in. Sorry for all the boogers. Okay, then you turn this knob, this little knobby here. Okay, so we're going to turn that until it gets past that, and then it's going to be free to move. So I'm going to move it, turn it back a little bit. Now I should be able to take this first little dial. Oh, and it went right up in there, easy peasy. And this one stayed behind. Sometimes this one likes to go in there along with the first one. They don't like to be separated. Just like human beings, we don't like to be alone. Okay, so now that we got the first knob in there, I'm going to take this little knob again. I'm going to turn it away from the film holder until you hear it click. Here, let's do this again. Let me hold it up to here. Let's see if you can hear this click. Okay, there was the click. There was the click. And now what we want to do is we turn it back. So now I'm going to turn it towards me for a little bit. Okay, here we go. And that should be good. Now, if I can move this one all the way in with minimal resistance, we're probably good. And I should state what the goal is here. We're trying to get the film out of there. It's a Film Leader Retriever. I thought that was self-evident. Anyway, so now we got this big one. Okay, we're going to push that in. Okay, everybody, hopes and prayers, knock on wood. Let's see. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hey, first try, baby. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, we got it out of there. Okay, that deserves a little drinky poo. By the way, hello internet, I'm Nick. I love to develop film. I love to shoot film. If you're just tuning in, thank you so much for joining me. Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. And what's a better way to memorialize those we're memorializing other than memorializing things on film? Okay, let's do this. Let's zoom me back out. Too much booger spit. Okay, so we got that out, and there's something wrong with it. Let me see. There we go. Okay, so good thing I didn't pull any further because there might have been pictures. So I mean, when you put it in, you put it in the camera, you stretch it across, and then you put it on this little thing that like spins and takes it up and puts it through the rest of the camera. So that much of it's already been ruined. So I'm not too worried about that. But next step is this. Where did I put those things? Here we go. If you haven't seen my short on developing film at home, part 1, well, actually, it doesn't go over this part. It went over the thing we just did, the film leader retrieval. But part 2 goes over the snips. Okay, so get ready. Get ready. We're snipping. Okay, so this part of the film does not matter, and it would have gotten in the way. So after we're done with all this, we're putting it onto one of these. This is called a Patterson reel. It's a speed loading, daylight loading, developing thingamabob, and it's like all those grooves are what the film is going to go through, and it's just going to spiral around this, and it's going to go in a tank, and then we're going to pour chemicals on it, and then we're going to get a picture. You know, it's a real roundabout way, because here I am talking to you on a digital camera. Why don't I just take pictures on digital cameras? I don't know. I'm an idiot, but that's the world I live in. Okay, so now I've snipped off that little part, you know, because that would have gotten in the way trying to spiral it around that white thing. But as you can see here, zoom me back in, booger spit time. Shout out, comment booger spit if you heard me say it before. Anyway, so now see how that little pointy part? Let me see. Here you are. See, this end looks nice. This end looks mean. So we're going to teach him a lesson. Here we go. Dink. Okay, so now he's kind of been rounded off, softened up, looking nice. So now this one's ready to go. I'm just going to set this one aside. Okay. And now we got to try and do that all over again. Repetition. You know, that's what it's all about. Precision. There's accuracy, there's precision. And we're trying to be precise up in here. Okay. By the way, thank you for joining me. My name's Nick. Hello, Internet. Nice to meet you. Long time no see. Okay, so now I'm putting the film leader retriever tool back into the 35mm canister. I slipped in these little thingies, just like so. Let's get you back in there. Booger spit time. Okay, we got the slit. We got the tip. We're gonna stick our tip into the slit. Ooh woo. And then we're gonna spin our little knob. And we heard a little click. We heard a little click. Then we're gonna take this little dial and we're gonna go, uh-oh, it doesn't wanna go up in there. Sometimes that happens. It's okay, don't panic. It's okay. Okay, we're gonna spin it again. Try and loosen it up. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, it went in there. It wasn't playing nice. It spun this thing. So that was kind of weird. Okay, so now we're gonna spin it again. Here, listen for the click. There's the click. Okay, now we're gonna spin it back towards ourselves. We're gonna go this way. We're gonna go that way. Okay, let's do it. I have a feeling this one's not gonna work out as smooth as the last one. Anyway, now let's try and push in the second dial. Hey, it went in pretty good. Okay, let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Thoughts and prayers not needed, son. Okay, we're good. We got the second little film leader out of there. Listen to that. What a beautiful sound. What a beautiful sound. Okay, thank you for joining me. My name's Nick. We're developing film. Shout out in the chat so I don't feel so lonely. Hello, Sarah. I love you, Sarah. She's the only one that joins me. No one gets me like Sarah does. You guys are losers. That's right, we're drinking beer. What are you doing? It's Memorial Day. Okay, so now same thing. See how this has got this little knot? Okay, booger spit time. See how this has this little notch cut out of it? We got to get rid of that. Nobody wants that. Nobody's got time for that. Okay, so what I like to do, see how there's these little sprockets? Okay, we got this dip here, and this hole, see where I'm sticking it through? That hole right there lines up with this hole. So since that hole's good and that corner's good, we're going to go to the next part, right before the next hole, which there is not one on the top side. And we're going to cut at a little bit of an angle, go up, and try and make this as flush right there as we can. And there we go. You see? But still, that end is a pointy meanie. We don't like pointy meanies in this house. And we're going to try and, smooth them out a bit. We're going to try and, this is where the precision comes in. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to clean it up a little bit more. Okay, there we're good. Can you see that? On my Zeiss lens. Yeah, I got a Zeiss lens. What are you going to do about it? Okay, yeah, you see that? How's it looking? I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so now, we got one. We got one roll of film. We got 2 rolls of film. They're ready to go. Okay, next step. Back out time. Okay, next step. We got this thing. This thing's called a Patterson tank. And what this does is it lets chemicals in through this little hole here. See that? That little hole. And also through this rim, but you'd be a maniac to try and pour them in there. That's where you pour them out of. Anyway, it lets chemicals in, but it doesn't let light in. It keeps light out. Like, I mean, look at this. Look at this. See this big light here? There's no light getting in there. See, that's like a black hole. That's a black hole, okay? It sucks it all up, rejects it, no light. This is a light-free zone. I just broke my Patterson reel. Thanks a lot, Internet. Okay, we're going back to this camera. Thank you for joining us. My name's Nick. Hello, Internet. Today we are developing film with the likes of one of these, and one of these, and a couple of these boys. You know, I wanted to hold out. Crap, I can't see. Something's happening. The internet's broken. What happened? Okay, well, we're coming back to this camera, and I really hope Sarah joins us because now the main camera is down, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I should just cry. Maybe I should die. My life is a lie. Okay, well, why not? Let's just segue. Okay, this is what we do when the camera goes down live on a live stream. First of all, first rule of thumb is have 2 cameras. That way, if one goes down, you still have another. And so I'm talking to you right here. Let me show you the camera that went down. Here we go. So this is my Sony a7 III. I got my 16-35 zoom lens on there, and something's happening. Let me show you. Okay, hello, this is my angle. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So this is my spaceship. This is what I look at to do the whole live stream. And so the a7 III stream is supposed to be here, but as you can see, well, you can't see because you're a real wide angle. Okay, let's get you zoomed in there. So it's frozen. I mean, I'm not there right now, I'm here. So I don't know what's going on. So let's do this. This is what I use to control the Sony. This is their like proprietary software. So we're going to pull that up, and for the camera battery is low. Please charge the battery. So I thought having it plugged in would negate the need for a battery. So maybe if Sarah comes out here with a battery, we'll be good. So anyway, yeah, I don't know why I thought you'd be able to see what I'm pointing it at when I changed the view to the other camera, because I'm an idiot. Anyway, this is a live stream. Mistakes are bound to happen. Sarah! Sarah's trying to sleep right now, but film sleeps for no one. So she's gonna have to come out here and save my butt because I'm up crap creek, and that's just what happens on a live stream. But anyway, I guess this is a good segue because I wanted to come over here anyway. So let's extend this cable to make sure I don't lose my only good camera. Bring you over here. This is my little strainer tray. So once I'm done developing and everything's all wet and dirty and chemically, I put it in this thing to dry. And so it's covered in chemicals and stuff, and I hate it. They're they're in the top thing of the backpack.
Which backpack?
The big backpack, the top pouch on the front.
I've been looking since the first time you left.
Thank you. See, Sarah's my one and only. She's already been looking for the batteries. She's trying to avert this catastrophe that is happening right now. And it's okay. You know, we're just going to do it live. That's what happens. So, we got the film. Here, just wait right there. I'll be right back. Don't be so impatient. Okay, so we got the film. Film 1, film 2. And to be able to put them onto these things, I need it to be dark. And there's a lot of light in this room. So what's a boy to do? Okay, well, we got batteries. We're going to fix the camera in a sec, but let me finish this segue. So these need to go in here, but I can't just plop them in and throw chemicals on them. It doesn't work like that. You need to take all this film out of them and put them onto these things so that they're spaced out. The chemicals can touch everywhere. There's nothing touching itself, and it's all going to play nice. But to be able to do that while it's not dark, you're going to ruin your film. So it has to be dark. You can't do it while it's not dark. And to make it dark, you got this. Isn't it cute? I love it. This is my dark bag. What it's got is these two little, it's like a shirt without a head hole. So there's a hole here, there's a hole here, but there's no head hole like this. So, but there is the bottom part. So there's a little zippy do, and you can zip it closed. And on top of that, you can also Velcro. And then no light's getting in here, and it's safe. So that's what we're gonna do, but first we have to do a little segue to today's sponsor, putting batteries in the camera. That's what pays the bills. If you haven't tried putting batteries in your camera, you gotta try it out. It's the @1 website solution for creatives, and I've been using it for a number of years. And you know, use the checkout code NickLowPro79 at checkout and save yourself 150%. They'll send you $5. How about that? It's nice. Okay, come over here while I go get the batteries, where it's all dark and everything's dirty. Battery 1, battery 2. We should be fine with just one, so let's try that out. Okay, and I'm assuming that once I put the battery in, it's not just going to instantly start working, because every time I boot up OBS, it's making me do some weird stuff and reset the whole thing, and it's not very fun. Anyway, where are you, Buck? Where are you, Johnny? Where are you, Sam? I'm all alone. Where are you, Olapin? I know it's like 3 in the morning for you, but I'm dying here. Okay, here we go. By the way, you like my hair? I'm digging it. You know, I do need a haircut. It's hot in Texas. It was over 100 today. Okay, so there's the other camera. I'm gonna get out the old battery. First, let's turn it off first. I mean, it is off, but anyway, it's the price of admission. Stick in the new one, close her up, turn her on. Okay, now for this next step in developing film, part 17, making sure your live stream works, what we have to do is, I'm gonna have to lose the video feed for a second, because I gotta set up the other camera because I thought it looked cool. So let's, oh, well, you know what? I can just turn it on and we can see the messed upness. So, okay, let's go here. Let's turn DJ. Hey, I'm all turned sideways. Anyway, so this is what we're doing. The A7 III is ruined. We're gonna delete it. Well, let's see if we can just do this. Go to remote. Okay. Turn on the remote. Here, we'll go back here. I'm right side up again. I'm standing up. It feels good. You gotta use your legs sometimes. Don't skip leg day. Camera is not connected. It's connected. It's on. It's on. It's connected. The screen is not on. Okay, it is definitely on. Refreshing. This is a very refreshing change of pace, you know. I haven't had this much of a catastrophic live stream failure in quite a while, and I've already done 3 live streams, so I'm kind of a big deal. I think my record is 3 concurrent viewers. So if you're one of them, man, thank you so much. Okay, so now we got to reset up the A7 III. Let's do it. Here, you can see me sideways there. How's it going? Oh, shit. Okay, everything's getting turned to crap right now. We're going to remove that A7 III. We're going to put it back on. And I got to do window capture. A7 III. Bing bong. There we go. Got it. Now we got to turn it back the other way. So this is what happens when you don't know what you're doing on OBS, because it's just a bunch of BS. That's all it is. There, we crop you a little bit there, a little bit here, move you up a bit. There we go, we got that one. Then we're going to duplicate this scene, and we're just going to call it A7 III. Bing bong. That name's already used. So okay, so we're going to call it Sony Cam, hit enter. Here's the Sony Cam view, and we're going to turn off the DJI, and we're going to drag him down, and bada bing, bada boom. Bob's your uncle. You're back. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for your patience. I really missed you. I mean, I think I look way better with this camera than I do with this camera. Shout out in the chat. What do you like more? Do I look better here, or do I look better here? Let me know in the chat. Okay. So here's both. This is the both screen. And if you're wondering why I have the both screen, let me show you. Because why do I have this thing on? Why am I wearing a bra? Okay, because this is the whole idea. When it comes time to develop, you guys are going to be right here, front and center. You're going to see all the action. What about that? What do you think? Is that cool? Is that not cool? You don't like that? Okay, whatever, I'll put you back. Whatever, you're going back over here. I mean, so that's why this one's sideways, why this one is sideways. Anyway, back to Sony Cam. Hello, welcome. Hopefully this fever dream will come to an end eventually. Next up on the agenda is getting all the film into the dark bag. That's right, we're developing film. We're not just futzing around with OBS and doing live stream catastrophic fails right now. So let me take you over here. Bing bong, hello again. Wide angle DJI camera. We're over there. And before we can spool up any film, the first thing you gotta do is drink a lot of beer. It gets you loose. It just makes it a lot easier. So that's what we're doing. Shout out in the chat if you've ever drank a beer, and if you're over 21, because I don't like lawbreakers. That's just not cool in my neck of the woods. Okay, so here we go. Here I am, getting ready. Spool up some film for nobody on the internet. But you know what? It's fun to try and riff for an hour and a half. You know, usually I can get this done in a real quick amount of time, but when I'm doing all this, it takes a lot longer, and them's the breaks, you know? It's the price of admission. Okay, so we got our dark bag. Keeps light out, because we got to get these onto there, into here. Patterson tank, Patterson reel, film. Okay, here we go. Dark bag, we're going to put things in our dark bag. Film, in. Reels, in. Boom. Patterson tank, in. Boom. And last but not least, because once you get it all spooled up onto the reel, you got to have a way to detach it. You need the old snip snips. Okay, we can't forget those. So, final thing to go into the bag. Scissors, in. Boom. Okay, you zip her up. Make sure it's all nice and flat. My OCD usually makes me check the zipper like 10 times. And then we got these little Velcros. Got to make sure those are all nice and Velcroed. Okay, so we're going to attach, attach, attach. Shout out in the chat, how many times have you said attach today? That was probably my third time. Okay, now the little hand holies. We're going to stick our arms in there. Let's do it. So, you know, I know all of my 3 subscribers are wanting to see part 3 of developing film at home. But I can't. I just can't break away from live streams. That's what the people are here for, as you can tell from the chat. I mean, look at how live it is. So now, my hands are in there with the Patterson tank, Patterson reels, my film, and my scissors. As you can see, plain as day. So, right now I am kneeling on the vinyl flooring, and it's not that pleasant, but this is what you got to do to be a YouTuber, I've heard. Anyway, so you grab the Patterson reel, and I'm going to start slipping the tip of my film into the intake, yank it out of the can to get some slack, and then I pull it around to the back side. Then I yank the can down to give me some more slack, and all you do is twist it. It's like rolling a J. Well, that's what my buddy Carl says about the old school metal ones, because he's like, you don't use the metal cans? What are you, some type of idiot? And I'm like, no, it's just easier, you know, but, you know, goes to show, learn to use the metal cans, and, you know, you can get yourself a nice job instead of trying to whore yourself out on the internet for 2 concurrent viewers. Anyway, here we are, just doing our thing. I wish I had music on right now, but that's it. Anyway, so I'm just pulling it out of the can, twisting the reel back and forth, and it's, every time you twist it, it like ratchets it up. So every twist, there's these little ball bearings that grab onto the sprocket holes on the film, and they just move it up a couple of millimeters at a time. But when you're twisting so fast, it goes pretty quick, because I'm already done with this one. And what I do is, once I'm pretty sure I'm done, I give it a firm tug just to make sure there's no more hiding in there, because the last thing you want to do is cut one of your pictures. And that's one of the benefits of just cracking open the can instead of using the film leader retriever, because honestly, you have a chance of scratching your film when you pull it back out through the felt slit. And, you know, I have a lot of film with scratches on it. I mean, it's nothing that would have gone into the Louvre, but it just still kind of sucks. But I like saving the cans. What can I say? You know, and we don't shoot film for a perfect image. You know, you could freaking shoot an old 14 megapixels something or the other and get that. Anyway, this reel's done. We're going to have 2 reels going in this can of Fuji 400 C41 color negative film going into the Patterson tank. Hello internet, I'm Nick, and I'm a maniac. I'm talking to myself on the internet. Nobody's watching. I'm sad, but that's okay. We'll get better. Things will get better. Everything will be fine. It's all gonna be okay. Oh my gosh, I got another person in the chat. Sarah, what does the person in the chat say? I need to be able to answer them. Okay. I will answer you as soon as I can get back to the computer. There's somebody else. I can't believe it. I'm not all alone. My world is bright. I'm waking everybody up. They're trying to go to sleep, but oh my God, I got another chat. Dude, hold on. I'm in the middle of spooling film. It's going to take me a second. You know, I'll come answer your questions or your comments in a sec. Okay, so I'm pulling down on the can. I'm getting a second. Now I just want to get this done fast. I'm probably going to mess up because I've never had a random person enter the chat. So now I'm kind of like flustered. What do I do? Do I look good? What am I wearing? What's the person on the chat saying?
Johnny 5.
Johnny's here. Okay, I thought it was some rando, but it's Johnny. What did he say?
Hi ho, are you going to do magic tricks?
Yes, I'm doing. Okay, look, watch this, Johnny. Okay, so here's my magic trick. I can make it levitate. Ooh. Ooh. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, Johnny. I really appreciate it. I love you, man. If nobody knows, but Johnny's the coolest person in the world. You know, you wish you had a Johnny in your life. So anyway, yes, I'm doing magic tricks. I am making film disappear. It just takes a lot longer. You don't just like hide it behind a curtain and lift the curtain and then it's gone. You have to put it in a bag and do a lot of manual labor, and then it's not there anymore. Then it's hidden in a jar, and then you pour chemicals on it, and then you get a picture. I think that's the real magic. The real magic is that you put the film in the camera, point it at something, push a button, open up a little door for a fraction of a second, and then months down the line, you can put that little piece of plastic into a tank full of chemicals, and you get a perfect reproduction of what that little door opened up to show the film. You know, that the latent image is the magic of photography. You know, and whether it's digital or analog, who cares? You know, it's all magical. You know, it's just, it feels more magical with film because there's the delayed gratification of it all. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, Johnny. You know, I really appreciate it. I love you, man. Anyway, okay, so now I'm going to snip and twist on the final bit of that film onto this reel. I know this is the most exciting thing that you've ever seen. Developing film is the most exciting thing a human being could ever do, especially if you're going on 35 and 2 years living at your mom's house. So anyway, we're developing film. I'm just spooling it up. Ugh. It's all good. It's in this bag. It's dark, but now I got to put it in this jar. So I take the lid off the jar. I put the reel down onto the spindle. Oh, I already put the other one in there. Cool. Okay. Oh my God, I feel like that was a lifetime ago when I started putting everything in here. Okay, and what you do at this point, critical juncture in developing film. So, here, how come I'm so dark? Anyway, you put it in here, you're twisting the lid on. Make sure you hear this. Listen, you gotta hear the click. Because right now, you can hold it upside down and it's not coming out. Here, let me show you. It's all in there, it's safe. Don't worry, ah! Okay, no, it's all good. Okay, so undo the Velcro, undo the zipper, and it's like the Dairy Queen Blizzard. It's not coming out. How funny would that be if I just ruined my pictures just now? Oh my God, okay. And then you do that. I like to dump it out afterwards. It's more dramatic. I wish I had a slow-mo effect on here. Okay, and now let's do a little cleanup. You fold up your dark bag and put it somewhere safe. You don't want to get any little holes or gnat things on here, so come with me. We're just gonna dump it onto this pile of stuff for now. And I'll clean it up after I'm done with this maniacal thing I'm doing. Okay, so let's bring back the good camera. Good camera. Oh my God, I missed you. Hello. How's it going, good camera? You know, that was terrifying when I lost you, but now you're back. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. How do you give me monies, Johnny? Johnny, I don't need your money. Your money's no good here. But anybody else who wants to give me money, you can hit me up on PayPal. My email is nick.lop@gmail.com. Send me all the spam you want. I don't care. I know there's only like 2 people watching. So yeah, send me money. I would love that, but not you, Johnny. Johnny, I don't want your money. Your money is terrible. Your money stinks. It's gross. Get it out of here. Okay. Ta-da! All the film is in here. Let me show you. So what we started off with was a couple of these boys. And we had this film sticking out, you know, and it's still sticking out, but that's just what's left because I cut it. I did the old snip. I gave it the old circumfilmation. I don't know. There was a joke there. I just didn't want to be gross. Anyway, so yeah, I pulled it out of there. I put it on those little spools and then I cut it. And now I can reuse these later. I can put some tape on there and put some new film sucked up into there. The thing that's scary is once you know, if you're going to reuse these, you're always afraid that it's just going to suck itself back up into there with getting turned around, because I just throw these in a big pile and they get jostled around. But I love it. So much of what I do in the car repair is using tools without seeing what you're doing. Thank you. Thank you, Johnny. I mean, yeah, it's tough. I mean, at least I'm not like got some like huge metal tools winging around inside of a big metal machine with hot components and stuff, and like I'm not gonna like injure myself, you know, putting film into this thing. It's all plastic, you know. It's, I mean, I get what you're getting at. Yeah, you got to be able to do it by feel and all that. But yeah, anyway, so let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. Cheers. Cheers, Johnny. I love you, man. Okay, So yeah, it's in there. The film is in here. This lets chemicals in, but does not let light in. So what we're gonna do is this. Let me show you the next step. Okay, so this is my hot water bath. This is a sous vide. This circulates the water around and keeps it at a predictable temperature, which this is set to 102 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is my developer. This is the chemical that will actually start taking all of the particles of the film that were touched by light and like hardening it and stuff. I don't know. It's like magic. It just takes the stuff that got touched by photons and makes it more permanent-y. I don't know. And then this stuff gets rid of the stuff that was not touched by light. And it also bleaches it to get rid of the silver on it. If you just use a fixer instead of a bleach and fixer, this is called the Blix. Bleach, fix, Blix. If you just do a fix, which is what they use in black and white film, then you'll end up with what they call bleach bypass, which I think they used in some of the Alien movies, which gives it a much more contrasty and less saturated image, which is kind of cool. And I've never done it myself, but I've wanted to do it for quite a while. Hit me up in the chat if you think I should do that, because I think it would be really fun. Anyway, we got more people in the chat. Steve, oh my gosh. I think it would be funny if you had a Mexican dinner in the bag with some Cheetos and a beer. Well, I got the beer part covered, bucko. Thank you for joining me. I sent out all these last minute texts to my dear, dear friends, and here you are. I love it. I would like to have a Mexican dinner, but we had ribs. I'm doing pretty good. Let's go back to the good camera. Okay. Hello, this is the good camera. Buck, what do you think? Is this better than the circle and the square from the last podcast? What do you think? Maybe you should, burqa. Why a burqa? Are you calling me ugly? Is that the thing that covers your whole head? I don't get that. Anyway, so I think there's nothing left to do but just do it. I mean, and by do it, I mean just pour the chemicals into this thing and go. I did forget one piece of kit that I got to go grab, but I think I can make it work. He is mixing polystyrene and gasoline to process film. No, I'm not. I'm not doing that. Why would you say that? That is terrible. Johnny 5, I don't trust you anymore. You know what? I will take your money. Thank you very much. Okay, so before I start pouring the chemicals into this thing, what you got to do is you got to get it up to temp, because right now this is room temp. And these, last time I checked, were 102 degrees. I stuck this in there, and I'm pretty sure with this circulating hot bath that they will still be 102 degrees when I start doing things. But the problem is, if I just pour that 102 degrees chemicals into the film tank, it's going to come down in temperature and give me a less predictable result, because it's going to like equalize with the cold film and the warm thing, and it's just going to be a mess. So what I got to do is make a hot water bath. And before I do that, what I got to do is grab up my favorite app. Here, let's go back to this thing. Okay, so this is my favorite app. Oh, you don't want to see my password. There we go. Yeah, I gave that away too many times. Okay, so this is the massive dev chart. What it does is it gives you the timing for the development of your film and the fixing and the final wash. And it's usually set up for black and white stuff, because with black and white film, you know, there's different timings for the development of different films shot at different speeds and developed with different developers. So like it can get kind of out of hand trying to keep track of all that. So this app really helps simplify it. You pour the chemicals in, hit start, and do your thing until the next step, you know, and it just makes it a lot easier. So I've programmed in my own little thing that sticks within the guidelines of C41 home development by doing hand agitation. That's when you invert it up and down to make sure the chemicals are touching every part of the film. And I have it set up for the guidelines of Cinestill's thing in their manual. And the only thing I've really altered is in here, I keep track of when I mixed it, 326-24, and how many rolls I've done with this batch of chemicals. So right now I've already developed 14 chemicals, and it's getting kind of exhausted, because they say it's only good for like 8 rolls of 36 exposure, 35 millimeter film. And so what I do is, which is a little trick I learned from YouTube, a rule of thumb is for every roll past that initial 8 that you do, you want to add 2% to your initial developing time. So starting off with a fresh batch of chemicals, you would do 3.5 minutes with the developer in the can. And since I've done 14 rolls, that's an additional 6 rolls. So 6 times 2 for 2% is 12. So I do 1.12 times 3.5, which gave me 3.92. And then everyone knows what 3 times 60 seconds is, because that's just 3 minutes. That's all you need to know. But then 0.92 times 60 seconds ended up being 55 seconds. So that is how I arrived at my final development time of, it says 4 minutes and 55 seconds there, but that's because of the initial 1 minute hot water bath that we're going to do to get these chemicals up to temp, because I just included it in that step. And then after that, we're going to do 8 minutes of the Blix, of the fixing step, and then 30 seconds of the final wash, because you got to get all those nasty chemicals off of there. And you know, with the final wash, it uses this stuff. It's called Photo Flow. It helps it dry a lot cleaner, no water streaks. It's like using some type of fancy thing to wash your car, you know, so it's not all streaky and spotty. We got really hard water here, so I got to use that. And I also use distilled water during the final step to make sure the pictures come out real clear. Anyway, yeah, I mean, that's it. I kind of broke it down. Am I missing anything in here? How about a chicken? I would love to bring a chicken in here, but they're all in the coop asleep. All they do is poop on the deck, and we've been stepping on it, and it's nasty. This is legit information. You should look at publishing to Creative Live or other paywall platforms. I'm just going to give it away for free. This is all stuff you can learn on YouTube. That's what I've done. I mean, maybe I'll put together Nick's Guide to Being a Cool Film Guy. Give me $5 and it's all yours. Or give me your email address. I'll put it on a marketing list and I'll sell it to China. And that's what I'll do. Or something, just to build a newsletter. I don't know. That's the plan. And it's okay, Buck. I'm drinking too. I'm a little silly. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. I think I broke down all the steps. All that's left now is to just do it. So, what I got to say bye to the nice camera. Here, let's get this going. Both cameras. We're on the both camera feed, and this one has to go bing bong like that. And now you can see what I'm looking at. You see me, I see you. We develop film. Okay, now we're clipped on there. All good. How's my brassiere look, guys? I think it looks real cute on me. Let me get that to the wide angle, adjust this thingamaboob, and then you're gonna see me over here. Okay, you can see me? You can see me good? Nice. Here, I might scoot this little video feed down a bit, and then pull this one on top. Here, pull that one down there. There we go. Now you can see me a little better. You see me do my dance moves as I develop the film. Because things are going to get hectic. I got to get all situated now. So I got my app right here. This is the Massive Dev app. So as soon as I start pouring in chemicals, you know, there's no going back. You just got to go. I should get a little jar. Anyway, that's where we keep the Tupperware. Don't take my Tupperware. I'm always looking for Tupperware. So I guess what I'll do, since I don't have my little jar to get water ready to pour in, I'm just going to start finding the temperature on the sink. So we're trying to get to 102 degrees Fahrenheit over here. Here, don't worry. This is a waterproof camera. You'll see footage of that soon. Me and Sarah hit up the pool today. It was real fun. We took some underwater pictures. Okay, 104. Dude, this is the most fiddly thing, trying to get a perfect temperature coming out of your tap. So we're sitting at 108. That's like what it is outside right now. What does it feel like in there? Definitely cooler than that. Let's go up a bit. We're at 106.2, 106.6. So yeah, it's like watching paint dry, but it's like watching water come out of a thing. Anyway, hello internet, I'm Nick. Today we're developing film at home. We're doing 2 rolls of Fuji 400 color negative C41 film. Ooh, I went down a little too far. We're trying to get the sink to be at 102 degrees Fahrenheit. You know, I usually just give up and go with whatever this is giving me. What are we at? The problem is you got to keep the tip in the water. Whatever, we're at like 104. That should be fine. Okay, we're doing it. We're doing it live. It's going in. Hit start on this thing, and we're going. Okay, so for this step, we're just gonna leave that hot water in there for a minute and not do jack crap until that timer runs out. Then we're gonna pour that out. We're putting it back into the hot bath there, and it's just gonna stay at that temperature until we're ready to go. So thanks for joining me, everybody. Hello, internet. I'm Nick. We're developing film. Do I got anything else in here? More opera next time. Yeah, maybe. I'll try to think. Bella siccome un angelo. That's about all I remember, but Gary Parr would be very disappointed in me right now. What else did I miss? The harness is super tactical. It's my tactical bra. It's my bro. It's my bra bro. Okay, so we're getting close. It's almost a minute, 54 seconds, so things get a little hectic. So we're about to pour this out. There's a minute, it's done. Now watch this. You get some cool colors coming out of here. It's kind of pink. I don't know if you can tell that with the white balance. It's kind of yellowy. It looks like somebody needs to drink more water. I shake it out. You gotta shake it. How's this for the internet? What do you think, guys? We're developing film. Welcome, internet. I'm Nick. And I love film. Okay, next we grab the developer. And we move this out of the way. I hate getting water on my phone. Okay, and we start pouring it in. And then I hit go on the app over there. You can't see that, I'm blocking it. And whoa, I put a little bit too much. Okay, I was getting carried away. That's okay. Don't cry over spilled developer, Mom always told me. And now, with this step, every 30 seconds I stick this little thing in there and I spin it around to make sure the chemicals are touching every single bit of that film. Okay. 26, 27, 28, 29. Let's do this. I do 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. 4 inversions. Now we do a little cleanup. You gotta clean up your mess. Oh, by the way, guys, OSHA would hate me right now. You're supposed to be wearing these. There we go. Now bend over and cough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's another round. So every 30 seconds, I got to get back in there, do the little twiddle stick, and spin my crank to get off. Okay, there's a little nut lever on your boiler to increase temps. What are you talking about? On my boiler? Yeah, I can do this. I can touch this little thingy, and it gets hotter. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Here, another 30-second round has begun. We're doing 4 little spinny-madoos until... Okay, so what that little twiddle stick does is it sticks in there and just intersects with these little plastic tabs of the spindle inside that, you know, houses the film. And you spin it and you just make sure everything's rotating around the liquid, and then you make sure there's not going to be any bubbles that just stay on the film and have uneven development. And you just make sure your pictures look good. You want pretty pictures. That's why we're doing this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another round. So yeah, you just got to do this every 30 seconds. And this part goes by a lot faster when I'm talking to you guys, when I'm doing this whole live streaming thing. When I'm all alone, this takes forever. And so then it helps to just put on some music, drink a beer, dance around the butcher block. So that's how you usually find me when I'm developing film. But since I'm trying to be a YouTuber, I got to make it entertaining. Okay, here we go again. Another 4, 2, 3, 4. You guys got anything else? What's going on? Have you ever developed film of something weird or paranormal? I don't know, not weird or paranormal. The weirdest thing, I like to find film in old thrift cameras and develop them. So stuff that might have been shot decades ago by some rando stranger, and here I am feeling very voyeuristic looking at somebody's old forgotten images. And I think there's a couple of things that come to mind. They're not paranormal, they're not weird, they're not sexy, schmexy, they're not, taboo. But one of them was this old type of film. It was a lot bigger than your 35 millimeter type of film. It was like a big roll film, and on it were some double exposed images from these people at the zoo. In one of the pictures that was exposed, juxtaposed on top of the other, was a family portrait. These people just standing around posing. It was a mom, a dad, and their kid in a stroller, just posing for a picture. And they were superimposed on top of an elephant because they forgot to advance the film before taking the next picture, or they were just very artsy people, and they wanted the picture to look like that. Either way, that was pretty neat, but also on top of that, the film is so old, it grew mold. So after developing it and scanning it, the picture looked like it had some type of fantastic plasma slime all over it, and it was pretty trippy. And then I got another story about another neat picture that I found from a thrift store camera. Right now we're just pouring the developer back into the developer bottle. And if I were about to develop more, I would put this back into the bath and let it stay at temp for another round of developing. But next thing we're gonna do, I'm just gonna put that off to the side, shake this up. This is my bleach fix, the Blix. We're gonna get that ready to go in. Okay, I've taken off the cap and I start pouring in. This time I'm not gonna spill, I promise. And we hit go. And this one's gonna be in there for 8 minutes. This is going to, wash off any of the film coating that was not exposed to light, and it's also going to get rid of all the silver particles, which would make it look much too contrasty, and it's going to help the saturation shine through. That's what the Blix does. Anyway, so the other weird picture thing I found was it was just a real small roll of film I found in some random thrift store find camera, and it was this lady. It was scenes of this old lady that had went to the bluebonnet fields here in Texas somewhere, and real pretty vistas of blue flowers, and she's splayed out on the grass and everything. And the pictures were grainy and terribly lo-fi because it was a type of film that was smaller than this, so the picture you get is a lot smaller, so it was lower resolution. But there she was, laid out on the grass, and I don't know how it happened, but once I got the film developed, there was also pictures of me and Sarah on that roll, superimposed on top of her. So somehow I rewound the roll and shot on top of all her stuff. In one of the pictures, it looks like my head is like a monolith in the background of this field of blue flowers, and she's splayed out in front of it, and it made me feel like a god. And I really like those pictures. I'll have to share them sometime. I've been thinking about doing a whole video on film that I have found in cameras. I have some pictures that I just found already developed of scenes from the 40s, back when phone numbers were 4 digits, and also some of, it seemed like it was like in the 60s, people in Alaska, a bunch of neat things. And I still have to archive a bunch of my old dad's family photos. My contact information and website, well, you can find it in my bio on my YouTube. That's probably the easiest place to send anybody who may or may not be watching. If you want to, hire me to do a gig, if you want to if you like some of my pictures and want to see some prints sent your way, I don't know. Okay, it's madebylopro.com. That's madebylopro.com. That's my professional website. That's where I put all my client work. I haven't gotten around to putting any of my film body of work or my real artsy-fartsy stuff I like for my own purposes, like street photography or anything that wasn't done on commission. But I've really been meaning to do that because, I'm trying to wean myself off of doing client work and trying to be able to just shoot pictures of what I want to shoot, and that's what this whole YouTube thing is about. I'm sorry, Johnny. That's another part of the whole passion is helping people preserve these things. Like, I'm so sad. We went to this estate sale, and this guy said he has thousands of pictures going back to like the early 1900s from this one family. And the family is a friend of his wife's, and they didn't want any of them. They were moving, and they were just like, throw them in a dumpster. And you know, their family goes back so far. They're pretty much original Texans, like Santa Ana type era. You know what I mean? And it's just real sad. So you know, if I ever find the time, I'm gonna hit that guy up and see if I can grab a hold of those negatives and preserve them, just for, you know, just so there's not this like loss for society. You know, things that they never even knew they were missing in the first place, so they wouldn't be that sad. But you know, it's like, you know, back in the day they used to make pictures out of flammable material, you know, film pictures, movie pictures. So all of Hollywood would have these warehouses with reels full of stuff that was super combustible. And then, you know, too many people were smoking cigarettes in the warehouses, and you know, hundreds or thousands of silent movies from back in the day went up in flames, and they'll never be seen again. So, yeah, it's just a sad thing, man. You know, when pictures go missing. I love preserving pictures, and I really got to back my stuff up. I got to get on the cloud. I got to, you know, send my negatives to some vault in Iceland. I gotta do a lot. It's tough. I'm running out of hard drive space. You know, I probably got 8 gigabytes of cat pictures, and I got to put those somewhere. I don't want to lose those. Oh, I'm running out of steam here, guys. Oh, I really appreciate y'all tuning in. You know, thank you so much, Johnny and Buck. I love you guys. And yeah, this is me, just developing pictures. These pictures are, this film that I'm developing right now is pictures from, what is it from? What did I do recently? Well, okay, so we went to the pool today. So one of the rolls is pictures from the pool. I brought my underwater camera, so there's going to be a bunch of silly, goofy pool time pics in there. And then also in there are pictures from what was the last gig? Criders, the Criders Rodeo. So bull riders, mutton busting, a bunch of people in cowboy hats and boots, and riding horses, roping calves, you know, stuff like that. A bunch of cool cowboy Texas stuff. So kind of a nice little juxtaposition. You know, we're going to get, you know, cool Texan stuff, and then, you know, Florida boy lifestyle, you know, just in my bathing suit, dipping around and being a little maniacal bastard. I don't know. That's me. So we're closing in on 6 minutes. So we only got a few more go-arounds of this. We got to do another twisty turny at 6 minutes and 30 seconds, then one at 7 minutes and 30 seconds, and the final one, another one at 7 minutes, and then a final one at 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So we only got 3 more go-arounds of this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bottle, I'm going to put the funnel in it, and we're going to pour it back into there, and then we're going to start washing things off, first with the normal tap water, and then we're going to use the distilled water in the final rinse solution, which is kind of just like dish soap. Oh, well, I forgot. I had 4 more. I forgot about 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So, I mean, I'm just getting a little ahead of myself. So right now, I'm washing this off so it'll be ready for next time, and it won't cross-contaminate any of my chemicals. Getting it nice and cleaned up. There we go. Then you shake it off. Shake it off, shake it off, shake it. I don't know where I put my strainer. So it's going back there. Okay. We got one more twisty turny, guys. Thanks for sticking around for Developing Film at Home Live with Niccolo Presti. There we go. There's my strainer. Okay. Well, we're closing in on the final moments of this. What is the phone app? The phone app is called Massive Dev Chart, and it's pretty much just a catalog of tested and documented timings for developing different black and white films with different development solutions, and you know, with the film pushed beyond its intended manufacturer spec or below it. So what you can do is you can shoot speed. You can shoot a film at a different speed. It might be rated for this much light, but you can give it extra or less, and then compensate for that in development. And so people have scientifically done these things and tested it out and, you know, logged their results in this app. And I have access to all that information at my fingertips. So now we're done with that step. Usually I'm real freaking out and like, oh, I got to get this out right when the timer goes off, but it's not going to make a big difference. So now we're pouring out the bleach fix Blixer back into the jug. And now we're going to start rinsing this. I don't want it that hot. Maybe that hot. We'll see. I'll come back and test it. Put this in the sink. Cap this puppy off. And since I'm going to be over there for the remainder, why don't you guys come join me? Come on. Let me get you as close as I can before I unplug you. Here. I'll put you right here so you can see my little pretty face. How's that? That looks good? Okay. So what I'm doing, if you look down at your the bottom screen, I filled it up once. What I like to do is fill it and empty it 7 times. And that's just because 7's a cool number. It's like an upside down L. And my last name starts with L. So there's 2. I think that's a little too hot. Now we're going to go for 3. 3's a cool number too, but it's not as cool as 7. And what I do is as I'm filling it up, I'm shaking it. There's 4. I think 4. Did I lose count? Am I at 4? Chat, am I at 4? I don't know. Is anyone still here? Johnny, Bucko, love you guys. Okay, this is about to be 5, I think. I think it's still too hot. I don't want to cook the film in there. I don't know if that could happen, but some funky things can happen with wide temperature fluctuations during film development, even though this is post-development. Okay, here's 6, closing in on 7. Fill her up, dump her out, that's how we do it. Hello Internet, I'm Nick. We're developing color film at home. Okay, there we go. That's 7. Okay, so now I need this. This is photo flow. Like I said, it's like a detergent that ensures you know, more even drying of your film. You don't get water streaks once you start drying it off. So I'm going to unscrew this little bit. Don't worry, it's not light sensitive anymore, or if it is, then I have discovered a new type of film. And you're supposed to dilute this 1 part this to 200 parts water. But all I put a little pinhole in there. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see the little pinhole? There you go. And I do a little doop 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 doop. Because I mean, I don't know. It's real scientific. Then I grab some distilled water. Oh, I forgot. Usually what I do. Okay, let's start over that part. I take out one of the rolls. This one looks like it has nothing on it, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case because the camera at Kreider's was kind of messing with me. So I wouldn't be surprised if I got nothing on that one. Okay, so I do a little squirt with the photo flow. Kreider's is the rodeo. And the reason I took out the 1 roll before I do the wash is so I have to use less distilled water per go around. Because then this water will still be good to wash the next roll. Because you see, you run out of these things fast. Now I'm going to go back here, grab my spare bottle, which I prepared in advance because I'm a professional. And then you unscrew that. So we already dripped a little bit of photo flow in there. And now we just got to get it coated with water. Get that water level up to where the film is. There we go. That's just enough. Then we'll cap her off, put this to the side. Get this out of the way. Okay. And now we're going to do our little 30-second timer with the phone app. So we just hit go. And you shake it around for 30 seconds. And this is the last step. And, you know, I'll be a little sad if I didn't get these pictures, but I honestly don't remember any of the scenes that I took on film at the rodeo. And just like the camera just sounded funny. It was one of those like it was an electronic camera that advances the film for you. And I hadn't tested it in a while, and I just felt like, oh, I want to use this lens, so I need to grab this camera. And I should have tested it before I went out because it wasn't playing nice. So we'll see if I get any pictures on here. But yeah, I kind of forgot about that. So before I pull it out of there, I'm getting my second timer set up. Okay, here we go. So you pull it out of there after a 30-second wash, and then you try and get all the suds off there. You just give it a little thwack like that. You know, you just do a little bit of that. Try and get all the extra soap off. And then what I do is I take that spindle, put it on the next one, which you can tell has pictures. See how much darker it is than the other one? You can see the frame lines and stuff. So this one definitely has pictures. I'd say this one's the pool. And okay, moment of truth, guys. Let's see. Here, this is what we'll do. This is how we'll do it. Okay, I'll move you back here. Point you up at this light. Move this light over here. We'll see if we get any pictures. Move this down a bit. Here we go. Okay, let's see, guys. Let's see if we got any pictures. It's blank so far. Well, I can tell you right now, that thing is empty. Okay, Kreider's on film is a no-go. So, oh well, no rodeo pics. I don't know if you can see, it's just blank. So I guess I only had one roll of film in there. So yeah, that camera was just messing up that whole time. But that's fine, you know, you live and you learn. You don't cry over messed up film. Just throw that in the sink. Okay, now you guys can come back over here with me. Hello, now we're gonna wash the second roll. Let me get my timer going. Started. And we're gonna start shaking up the other roll. So these are pictures that we took at the pool today with our underwater camera. It's called the Minolta Weathermatic. And anybody who might have, you know, frequented the beach or surfing back in the 70s would probably be like, oh yeah, that yellow camera. It's like the yellow submarine, they'd call it, yeah. So that's what we use to shoot these things. It's a pretty neat camera. What do we got over here? What about hard water? Okay, let's see, before we take this film out, let's see what the chat has been saying. What have they been up to? Okay, so what is the fun? 3, 4, I don't know. Tabletop distillers cost around $70. They die after about a year, but they're worth them. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know how many jugs I go through. It's only a few bucks per each one. But every time I mix up a new batch of chemicals, I use distilled stuff. And I mean, how do you distill water? You just boil it, right? I mean, I don't know how it works. What about hard water? Yeah, I mean, we have hard water here. It's got minerals and... So yeah, I've already washed it for a minute, but that's okay. I don't think I can overwash it. I mean, yeah, we got minerals and calcium and stuff in our water, and it kind of sucks. So we don't want a bunch of spots on our film. So what else we got? Moment of truth. Yes, it's the moment of truth, guys. Let's, okay, come back over here with me. We're gonna shake it off. Hello, internet. I'm Nick, and I hate suds. Do you hate suds? It's too soapy. Why is it so soapy? Okay, so we're getting the suds off. Anyone who's just watching the top is probably freaking out. Anyway. Okay, moment of truth, guys. Here we go. Let's get the light. Let's, you know, blind you guys again. Get this going. See if we can see anything worth seeing. That's the goal, right? That's what photography is all about. Okay, let's see. And there's pictures on there. Definitely pictures, all right. Yeah, I mean, look at that. You know, okay, well, I'm gonna have to scan these soon. Anyway, let me point you back at me. You know, this isn't a macro lens. I can't really zoom you in on those pictures, but, you know, fine. Oh, look at that one. I cut a little bit of that picture off. See that? I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, see how it's right up to the edge here? Dang. But it's also because, like, see how it overlapped? I don't think it meant to take that picture. So, oh, well, those are just the ones I was taking at home to use up the roll because I wanted to develop this tonight. Anyway, yeah, looks like we got some cool scenes in here. So the final step is just to hang this up and let it dry overnight, and tomorrow I'll scan it. If you wonder about how I scan film, you can check out my some of the other videos I have online about that. Nick Speedo Pics. I mean, quite a bit of money, man. I mean, you know, that's kind of why I sped through showing you guys the pictures on this roll. I don't want you guys to see anything you're not supposed to. You know, you're gonna have to really ante up for that. Minolta for the win. Yes, sir. I'm a Minolta gang member. You know, what are their colors? I don't know, like silver and black. That's me, baby. Minolta gang. Anyway, thank you so much, Johnny and Bucko. If you guys got anything else to say, I mean, I'm about to log off. I'm kind of pooped. I'm ready to hang this up, and I don't know. I'll talk to you soon, Johnny boy. I really appreciate you tuning in, and yeah, I guess that's it. You know, hello internet. I'm Nick, and this is Developing Film at Home. We got pictures. We got pictures, baby. Okay. Peace out. Peace and love. Peace and love. And hate. No, not hate. It would be easier if I took my gloves off before using the computer. There we go. Okay,